Thoroughly Omerozul here, welcome back to another video, welcome back to Tales of the Forgotten, Dragon's Dogma 2. Revision 6 has quite literally just released. In case you haven't installed off of the test branch, you should be fine, just make sure you make a new profile. If you have installed off of the test branch, which, give me a sec to figure out where. Okay, if you have installed off of the test branch, give me a quick second to check this, just in case. Okay, I got some issues installing one of the mods, and you will not really see anything until I actually install that, or you manually install it. It's called item belt. Don't worry about it too much, unless you actually want to use it. Anyway, this here is a guide for installing Tales of the Forgotten Dragon's Dogma 2 mod collection. So, what you actually do here is, first of all, you make sure you hop on the Nexus page, make sure you got Dragon's Dogma 2 fully functional, make sure you have absolutely no other mods installed. If you are coming from other collections, make sure you uninstall them completely. That means wiping the REFramework folder as well, which is right here. However, if any other mod collections are kind of acting like mine, then you will literally need to wipe everything and reinstall the game. So, let us start with how to actually install the collection. You will have to... You know what? Let me put some music on. I got me some music here. I hope this is not too loud. It shouldn't be too loud. It should be just fine, judging by my OBS. Alright. So, please, for the love of God, make sure you read everything. There's a lot of documentation here on the main page, okay? There is a lot of documentation here in the bugs section. Okay, we got a known bugs section. Please make sure you read these, okay? Because this is answering most of your questions. Most of your issues can be found here, okay? I don't think I've missed any sort of random issues. Excuse my random poor camera and frame rate for the camera. We also have the Tales of the Forgotten resources page, which contains the Fluffy Mod Manager preset auto enabler, which you should download. Please don't do yourself the... let me rephrase that. Please don't manually install the mods in Fluffy Mod Manager. It's bad. Okay? And then custom script changes, which have recently just been updated. There's the official reshade, which has been updated last month. And then the resources and the custom character manager presets, which have just been updated a few days ago. About 10 days ago. Give or take a few days. Alright. You should always read the changelog if you are updating. That's it. If this is a fresh install of the collection for the first time, okay? Again, make sure your game is fully functional. Make sure your game is fully functional, as it boots up and it loads into a save, preferably a new save, before you install the collection. If everything goes well and you can load into a save, as in get into character creation, okay? This is what I mean by loading into a save. You need to be able to load into character creation first. If you're able to load into character creation without issues, then please quit the game. And you can proceed with the installation of the collection. If you, however, have had, again, other mods installed previously, please full wipe your game, reinstall from scratch. Okay? Because folders and files are all over the place due to bad mod folder structure and such. So, you will add the collection, then it's gonna jump on Nexus, or on Vortex, excuse me, you'll have this right here. I haven't updated my own yet, but it should say revision 6. And then you should, if you are updating, make a new profile. Always make a new profile when you are updating, okay? Install everything from scratch on a new profile if you're updating from revision 6 or 5 or the test branch, okay? Now, after you've downloaded, everything should be fine except you're gonna go into the Dragon's Dogma 2 folder, okay, where you are installing the Dragon's Dogma 2 game, REFramework folder. After okay, let me make sure you all actually follow the steps correctly. So make sure you enable the preset, okay, because without this the mods will not function, because they're not actually enabled. Even though they're enabled in Vortex, they will not be enabled in Fluffy, hence the game. So, customizable loss gauge control, make sure this is off. Immersive levitate, use this at your own risk. It seems to be overriding the grab function. You won't be able to pick up the rock and such when you start the game. Also, no sprint stamina cost out of combat. This seems to have been integrated into... Give me a sec to find it. Into the unofficial Dragon's Dogma 2 patch. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a dyslexia going on. It is what it is. Again, no sprint has been integrated in unofficial Dragon's Dogma 2 patch, so you don't need the no sprinting stamina cost out of combat mod anymore. As for customizable loss gauge control, you don't need this because I have added it to the new and improved custom difficulty tweaks preset, TOTF V3, okay? Make sure you load this custom preset. Also make sure you read the changelogs if you're updating. And again, immersive levitate is overriding your grab function, so you won't be able to grab with this on. I haven't looked into it much, but you might be able to change the keybinds inside the Lua file, I believe. It's off by default. Hairstyles, please do not change anything here, because you will be overriding hairs from the custom presets. We have these specific hairstyles, or rather, these specific hairstyles used by the extra mods, and these are used by the presets, and I recall some of them being just kind of nice, and I want to keep them. So if you want to override any of those, just know that you will be overriding either good hairstyles, or you will be overriding, for example, Shadowheart hair, which you don't really want if you want to keep Shadowheart as Shadowheart. This, okay? So, there is also another thing you gotta make sure. Tables of the Forgotten Resources. This usually should be loading last or second to last. So, disable, enable if you have issues. And then custom script changes R6 V2, make sure it says V2 here, unless it has been updated. It's currently R6 V2. Make sure it's enabled. Disable, enable, so you don't have issues. And then what you want to do, inside the REFramework folder, in autorun, you will have, I don't have it right now because I already removed it, but you will have transmogify.lua and meshmodEnabler.lua, not the TOTF fixes, no, the original meshmodEnabler.lua and transmogify.lua. Please remove those because they conflict with my fixes, okay? If you have an issue with monster infighting being randomly duplicated in here, where's it at? this. If monster infighting is randomly duplicated, make sure you don't have 2 monster infighting.lua files. Make sure you only have 1. I had 2 for some reason, even though there's only 1 in the scripts files, as you can see right here. Or REFramework auto run inside custom script changes or 6v2. There's 1 monster infighting.lua. Now, this new revision contains a new mod which I've made. There's TOTF heal over time.lua. There's a little bit of a bug going on with this, as in when you die, you're still being kind of kept alive. However, you will die, so make sure you don't use any heal items, okay? You will die. It doesn't matter if you're still being able to run around while technically dead. Just unsure why the game is just, you know, kind of refusing to heal you back up if you heal. Anyway, the idea is once you're 0 HP, even if you're gonna be able to move around, you will still be dead, okay? Now, I kinda tried to fix this by making a separate mod, but that's for another day. Just know that I'm attempting to add a mod which would save us from dying at 1 HP if certain attack would insta-kill us. But seems to be harder than I thought. Anyway, these are the data changes in the data folder of our REFramework script changes R6v2. Hostile unhired pawns has been basically completely removed in game. Let me find it real quick. Here, make sure it's off, because otherwise you're gonna have issues. And then I've made some changes to Tournevier spawn tables. Let me show you what I mean. Even though you probably have no idea what this is. They've been set to not is wander move. I mean, they were set to literally not move from where they spawn. Because I tried to fix this, but I really can't. The game has some really aggressive cell calling, so if they wander too far, they will literally disappear. Do note, also they have been set to is force combat true, so they should all enter combat, okay? That was made so we address a bug where you are unable to attack certain bosses for some reason, because they just don't start combat with you. Also unsure what the actual thing is. But yeah, I set them to ease combat true in hopes of fixing it. So far it has worked, haven't had the issue since, but do note that random encounters re-arisen is a thing. This is enabled, and while I do have a custom preset for it right here, let me find it right here. And the bosses have been set to 0.1%. Okay. They've been set to 0.1%. There still seems to be an issue with bosses just kind of randomly disappearing during combat. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't really know how to fix it either, so just warning, okay? Just a warning. Just sipping some coffee. Haven't slept much last night. As for itembelt.lua, this item belt mod currently has some issues, or rather I have issues with it. Where are you at? Why are you not showing up randomly? Okay. Let me find it. So, when you install this mod, of course you're showing up now. Anyway, when you install this mod, just know that you will need Python 3.12, bare minimum. You need to install Pillow library with this. So, I mean, I can show you how to do it, but I would rather just have you read stuff on here or on Discord, because it's easier to help. But I have issues with installing this myself, so you have been warned. You also need RE tool. So yeah. As for my actual issue, here is my log. I haven't been able to figure out what the hell is going on here just yet. I'm kinda asking for help, but we'll see if I can get it running. If I get it running, you will have it in next revision. And it's also gonna be an optional install on the resource page right here in update files, probably, or optional files. So what this does is it gives you this little widget here. Okay? This right here for items. But I kinda need to install this and the icons. Just again, slight issues. Anyway. Do I need to address anything that is Lua related? Anything else? I think that's it for anything that is Lua related. Don't mind Second Wind TOTF, that's my upcoming mod which I'm attempting to make. It's not in the collection. TOTF heal overtime, please. For now. Do not touch this, okay? It's already pre-configured. Just note that you will only be healing up to 50% of your health, okay? 50%. So keep that in mind. It will auto-stop at 50% of your max health. Okay? So you'll have to either rely on curatives, a healer, or, you know, some potions, maybe resting at camp, you know, kind of just attempting to make all of the in-game options be available to you, while at the same time having auto heal just be kind of there to help you a little bit. Because it can get a little crazy, with especially if you're using the random encounters mod. It can get a little crazy. I recommend using it. It's kind of fun. Monster infighting should be fixed now. No longer should NPCs be in free-for-all randomly with the Doom style preset. They should only be fighting each other if they actually hit each other. So if that doesn't work as intended, please let me know. I have tested multiple times. It works with the new fix. So yeah, please use it. It's good. It's nice. I've also had multiple bosses fighting each other on screen, and it can get pretty hectic. That said, do I need to address anything else that is script related? Oh yeah, Skillmaker is off. If you wanna add this yourself, this is off default. Just take these on. Modifier inhibits buttons, take that on. What else? Gamepad buttons default if you use a gamepad. Otherwise you will have to set hotkeys for keyboard. I don't really know how to do that. I haven't touched that, so keep that in mind. Okay, I think that's it. No, that's not it. The clock widget. Where's the clock widget? Let me find the clock. Clock. There's the clock widget. Don't mind this message error from REFramework. I believe some of these might be missing some code. I don't know which, but some of these which have been installed are missing some code. Oh yeah, I've added auto loot body. It's already preset like this. If you want to touch it, touch it. If don't, use it how I have preset it. This preset, however, will make it so it's disabled during combat. You will only loot body and body parts and dropped items. 5-meter range, which I believe to be acceptable and not really all that immersion breaking. And you still need to go gather your items and stuff sometimes. Again, the clock widget, it's right here, up top. And then it's currently set for Alpha 0, which I believe that is the hotkey, yes. And it's 0 on the keyboard, okay? And if we check in game, it's right above the compass minimap, or whatever it's called, okay? Right there. Right up there. Alright. Got some new character presets. Make sure you are inside detailed customization in Character Manager when you are using these. Aranee and Mithros, Merazul, which is my actual preset that I'm using right now. There's Rory and the fixed body of Shadowheart. I believe that's all for new Character Manager presets. There is Reaper Sight and Wukong Bailong. These are Lindworm Fang replacers. Only use one of them. It's probably, if I recall, only gonna be loading a single weapon. Therefore transmogify. And they do work, but only one will show up. The one, which is last loaded. Which I believe to be Wukong Bailong. Mostly because I think this is how this right here, what you're seeing right here on Fluffy is the actual load order, if I understood it correctly. However, for some goddamn reason, Fluffy will literally not let me reorder it. So if anybody knows how to reorder these, let me know. I've tried literally everything. Doesn't work. It is what it is. Anyway, if you want to customize anything in here and you want to make anything for the collection, do let me know. Ideally, you will also be including the customized files when you let me know so I can test them on the collection. Now, again, if you are updating the collection, make sure you are always, quite literally always, making a new profile. Okay, make sure you enable that new profile and update the collection using that profile specifically. Okay, and then you can turn off the other one. After that, you can also remove it. Just make sure you don't remove your mods. Sometimes you got issues. If you got issues, hop on here, help channel. We also got some pinned stuff in here. You got issues with VR. There's this right here. VR DLLs, make sure that's off inside the Fluffy Mod Manager options. So that would be inside Fluffy options, advanced options, install VR DLLs, make sure it is off. If that's on, you will probably be booting your game with Steam VR, which is not something you want to do. REFramework related issue. I think it also has, if I recall, because we are using nightly 01191, make sure that is the exact version you are using as well. Inside the archive, you're seeing VR stuff, okay? Then VR stuff, okay? So you don't want those. Make sure that's off in Fluffy. If you have installed with that on, make sure you turn off, where you at? Make sure you turn off REFramework. Why is it not inside Fluffy, the hell? Anyway, for some reason it's not inside Fluffy Mod Manager, but I do have it installed. Remove from Fluffy or disable, enable after you made sure the install VR DLLs is off. So turn this off and then go back to REFramework, disable, enable. You should be good. Emphasis on the should, because I've never had this issue in the first place, so do let me know if this helps, okay? Alright, I think that's it. Oh yeah, make sure in Content Manager, pause. Content editor, that was character manager, my bad. Make sure quest editor is off. This has issues with audio and NPCs just kind of skipping dialogue and such. Turn that off. There's the no job requirement. If you want to have the armors only option, keep it on. This is on by default. Make sure weapons or another one of these armors thingies, modules. Make sure they're all off except this one. Only use the armors only REF, which is on by default. Anything else is gonna break your game, okay? Unsure about armors only no weight or armors only ref no weight. I don't think they're gonna break your game. I think they work just the same as armors only REF. This. I think these three work. Four. These four should work as intended. Don't use the weapons modules. They will literally break your game. They will make your archery literally unavailable. You won't be able to use archer, is what I'm trying to say. And some other BS errors, which you don't want to be dealing with. Element Monk seems to have some issues. Unsure if it works properly. Let me know. Anything from Skillmaker, let me know if you have issues with them. There is also these hairstyles. Just don't touch anything else. As mentioned previously. What else is there? There's so much stuff already that it's kind of... I've included Nick's dev tools. You have him right here. Just be careful with it. You could brick your saves. What else? Some mods might be having updates. I don't think we are on latest Mura's armor edits, for example, in revision 6. I believe this is also safe to update. Some other mods might have been updated while I was making the upload and I forgot to check, but I don't think so? Question mark? I think Mura's armor edits is the only one, but again, unsure. Let me check if Bestiary got updated. Just in case. It did not. Alright, we are using Bestiary. So make sure you have this enabled. This is the newest hot addition to Dragon's Dogma 2. Also using the variant spawns. They do work. We are using Armor Pack. Okay. Some very, very, very cool armors, which I've been trying to add to the game. This person right here has added them in an immersive way. Please check on the main page, under main features, for some reason. Why the hell? I can't space bar, question mark? Anyway. Come on. Oh my god. I can't spacebar there for some reason. Anyway, item additions. Make sure you read how to actually get them, okay? Unless you want to just kind of find them in the game. These are the ones which are included in the new armor pack, which has literally just dropped on Nexus yesterday on the 20th. So they dropped yesterday. I literally uploaded the collection revision 6 today. On the 21st of December. Again, this is how you get the items. Okay, we have 500 plus other items spread throughout shops and merchants and whatever. And then you got transmog and content editor stuff, and also you can buy them in other shops. Okay, so just make sure you read if you want to get some specific stuff. Like, for example, the Fatalis stuff from Monster Hunter. Alright, what else? Just make sure you read everything, okay? If you have any sort of issues, again, please hop on Discord, ask me. I will help you as soon as possible. Just do note that I live in Europe, Romania, so time zones are a thing. You might have to wait a couple of hours depending on when you're typing to me. Crazy's Workshop. That is the last thing I kind of want to address. For some reason, Crazy's Workshop did not initially work for me with bestiary variant spawns. I am currently in-game using Crazy's shop, and it does work, so you can turn it on if you want it. Just, yeah, for some reason it's something that did not function initially. Trying to open items. Oh, I'm not being allowed to because I'm not, I'm on a new save. Anyway, just showing you guys that it does work. I am in-game, and if you have any sort of issues, please let me know. This was a long video on how to install and, you know, check everything. Again, make sure you always read. Reading is important when you install hundreds of mods, fellas. Also make sure you always, and I mean always, check right here. Right here. Okay? You will have these two. Make sure you don't move these two. The Vortex-related deployment JSON files. However, you will have a lot of character presets here. Make sure you move them to REFramework, Data, Character Manager. A lot of these will be in your main game folder because bad folder structure. I really hope the modders will fix them at some point, but until then, it is what it is. You will have skill sets and skill something, two skill related folders, also R tier. And I believe... do we have fast respawn bosses? I forgot. Give me a sec. Okay, fast respawn bosses will also have a folder there. So, R tier here will have a folder, or a framework folder inside that folder. Fast respawn bosses will have a folder, or a framework folder inside that folder. Grab both of those. Put it right here. Override if asked. Don't mind. The skill set folders will go into REFramework, Data, Skill Manager, and you have skill sets and skills. Okay? Where is... give me a sec. There's your R tier. And then there's also a bunch of stuff being spread all over the place by R tier. Okay? Let me see if I can find one of them. Not really, no. I don't know where they are. I actually do not know where they are. There we are. There we are, in Lost Mercenary, okay? There's a bunch of R tier stuff in here, okay? So that's from the R tier folder. There's the faster respawn bosses, Lua. Unsure if it's working properly or not, but I have included it. Do let me know how you feel about it. If you got any sort of issues with that, I suggest addressing them towards the actual mod creator, question mark, because I'm kind of starting to get burnt out on applying all the fixes and such myself. I'm not gonna lie. Again, you have any sort of issues, make sure you first read here. Make sure you read known bugs. We got this red GUI REFramework UI warning thingy. I don't know what to do with this. I have literally no idea. If you got issues with bosses, it's right here. NPC don't attack. It's hostile unhired pawns. Quest dialogue issues. It's content editor pack. Audio cuts out. Unsure, but I believe it's quest editor related. Transmog. You got any sort of issues with transmog? Make sure again to not have a anything other than transmogified TOTF fix.lua and mesh mod enabler TOTF fix.lua. Don't have the original files, okay? You might crash. You might have an error related to transmogify or the OTF fix. You might have these, unsure why. Usually a reset script fixes it. If your game crashes, that means you haven't deleted the let me rephrase that. If your game crashes on boot, that means you haven't deleted the transmogify.lua and meshmodenabler.lua. And they are conflicting with my files, which have addressed some of the issues those specific mods are having. So make sure you remove them. Again, when you reboot your game, after that, you will have an error. Click OK or whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you get into the game, reset scripts, everything's fine. Alright? You got any sort of issues, let me know. Happy holidays, fellas. I'm out.